Good morning guys, Friday the 10th of April. As you can see, sporting the new haircut. Do it yourself, pull the fly mower out and give myself a bit of a trim. Yeah, it's an needs must, so basically it wasn't with the fly mower of course. I have some beard trimmers ironically, and that's all I had in the house and that's what we're doing it with. So, and thankfully the batteries lasted long enough because it wasn't even a mains one. I had images of walking around with the big ponytail in the back and bald on the top, but there we go. So today we managed to get a delivery of pigeon corn about 3 miles up the road. So this morning I went up and I've got myself another 10 bags to mix in with the wheat that I got the week before last. So that's the feed sorted for the birds, the chickens and the pigeons for quite a while, so I'm pleased with that. So I've came in here to put the kettle on and make a cup of coffee, quick look in the greenhouse and got a surprise. So the tomato plant that I thought that might not make it because it had no extra cover is thriving. However, the other big mama tomato that had the extra protection was starting to die a death, and I probably will lose the plant. But I think it was a lack of water rather than anything else. So I've just given the plants a bit of a water now because they were really dry. As you said, we've had no rain and it's been relatively warm all this week, and I haven't been near to the allotment, so we were unable to water. A lot of the seeds that I planted last week, the mustard plants and the lettuce, the oriental leaves, etc. Quite a number of them have already popped up, but they were bone dry, absolutely bone dry. So I've just given them a good watering again now as well. I've also noticed some of the plum tomatoes that I planted in the first planting. I think there's 2 or 3 of those, 4 showing. So yeah, that's a fallback if these other tomato plants don't make it. The onions have started to perk up a little bit in the front bed. They've all just had water back in again now. The lettuce are really thriving. The first lot of lettuce I put in, they're really thriving. I've just given them another water. They were still damp, but they were starting to dry out, so I'll give them another bit of a watering as well. And I've watered the entire bed where the tomato plants are to try and retain a lot of moisture in the bed, just in case, you know, they dry out again. To be honest, the compost was really dry, and last week's watering probably wasn't sufficient, but it's kept them going, and I've given them another good dousing now, and I'll give them another one before I leave. So we'll wait and see how that goes. I've just got the kettle on now and waiting for a cup of coffee. So as soon as I've had the cup of coffee, guys, I'll give you a quick tour around of what's happening. Hope everybody's staying safe, staying indoors and being practical according to government guidelines. I've never been out of the house again all week, not even in the garden for any fresh air or anything. I've been working from home. However, in spite of working from home, I've decided I'm going to take some of next week off as well, so I'm not going to be working from home again now until next Friday. I really need to get some fresh air today and perhaps even a little bit of exercise. So I'm going to have a little potter. I'm not going to do nothing too strenuous to a day. Might do a pigeon loft or 2 tomorrow, but today is just about having a cup of coffee, checking on the plants, getting them watered, and seeing how things go. So yeah, we'll give you a quick look around after, guys, when I've made the cup of coffee. Catch you later, bye. Okay guys, so as you can probably see, the grass that I cut last week is already making a tremendous comeback. Yeah, this is the difference between what I managed to get cut and what I didn't. And look at the difference here. I mean, this is elephant grass just about. In spite of no rain, the grass is growing exceedingly well. So we're just going to go and have a quick look in the polytunnel now, guys. So the first thing you'll notice is the one I was describing earlier on, the big mama tomato. It's almost had it. It's not quite dead. We'll give it a good old watering in now. And this did have a bell cloche over it, which I've now removed. I've even got the door open on the polytunnel for to let some air in here, as it's really warm. So whether it comes back or not, guys, I really don't know. But you can probably see that the onions are now starting to perk up. They're up the side of the bed, they're lifting their leaves again, and they're starting to establish themselves in the bed. Some are looking better than others, but then again, they were when they went in. The other tomato plants appear to be thriving okay. Now these two were also under bell cloche, and they seem to have fared a lot better than the other plant. I'm not sure why. They were all watered the same, but yeah, one decided it isn't. It's struggling to make it, and the other two of the two Shirleys have held their own. And then, lo and behold, the one I expected to be dead is probably the furthest on and doing the best of them all. It's really got itself established in there now, and seems to be looking quite good. So what I might just do today is leave the bell clutches off these ones as well, and leave them to their own devices as this one, and see if that makes a big difference. So we're over here now. This is the tray that we had where we had peppers, chilies and plum tomatoes. It was the first sowing of the year in the greenhouse, and you can see now I have 1, 2, 3 plum tomatoes popping up. I'm just looking at the label there now. There was actually 8 put in there, so there was 2 in a cell. Actually there's 2 in that one. Yes, both of those 2 are coming up. But it's still early days, and these have kept the moisture. I probably put a bit too much water in the bottom of these, but and that might be the reason why the slow growth. And I'm not sure. I'm really not sure whether that's one trying to make its way up now or not, or whether it's a seed that's floated to the top. Might even be a seed that's floated to the top. Cucumbers. So, as you can see, we planted 8 of those. I thought it was, sorry, 7. Yeah, 7, and all 7 have came up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, all 7 have made it. Some a little later than others, but yeah, great stuff. Pleased with that. 100% germination. Next to that, we've got the all year round cauliflower, and we've got 4 of those now, and another one just starting to pop up in this one here, so potentially 5. And another one there, 6. So yeah, I'm not sure whether that's one popping up or not. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. So it's 6 of those, and there was 8 planted. So okay, not bad germination. And the spring onions are doing really well, guys. I'm not even going to attempt to count them, but as you can see, there's quite a good number of those germinated. But they're not ready for pricking out yet, as you can see. So moving over to the strawberries, you can see still nothing. They were bone dry, absolutely bone dry. So whether that's part of it or whether I'm overwatering them, I really don't know. Any tips on strawberries, guys? I've never had any luck with strawberries. So if you can give me some tips with strawberries, whether they like to be kept moist or dry. Some plants I do know like to be drier than others, so if you can let me know on that one. Comments in the section would be really helpful. The lettuce that are multi-sown, doing really well, as you can see. And the ones I planted last year, so these are the mustard seeds that are planted. And as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got about 10 of those have came up already, but this was bone dry when I came up this morning, guys. And I mean bone dry. I've just given them a watering in again now, as were these under the bell cloche. Now the whole idea of the bell cloche is basically to get the condensation and let it run back down to the plants. But it clearly wasn't working that well for this. However, in spite of, I've got quite a massive germination here going on. At least 1/2 of this sawn out tray, especially the lettuce, they just seem to thrive and thrive no matter what you do with them. You can pretty much throw them on concrete, I would say, and they'll germinate. But I've also got the oriental leaves here, that the spicy oriental leaves, and I've got a few of those popping up as well. That's nice to see. Still no sign yet on the dark basil. Money makers, yeah, I wouldn't have expected to see those yet, but maybe next weekend. Rocket, I haven't seen anything. There's nothing popped up on the rocket yet, but again, time for those yet, guys. So I'm not going to flap or panic. What will happen, and what won't. So yeah, that's just a quick look in here for now. Catch you later, guys. Bye. As you can see, guys, I'm trying to get some water for the garden, and the chickens are getting completely under my feet. They're a really friendly breed of chicken. These are the Acer Browns. These are the rescued hens, and as you can see, they're all through the molt now, all laying the socks off, looking extremely healthy. And but yeah, they're constantly under my feet every time I come in the pen. They're such a friendly breed of chicken, so anybody who's looking for chickens that are potentially really friendly and good with human beings and children in particular, these are the breed for you. As you can see, they're just here, you know, they're just there constantly under your feet, and they're really friendly. Of all the breeds that are keeping the distance, as you can see, the brown ones will always be under your feet and they'll follow you around. And even though they've got water in the drinker, just because I'm doing something, the birds have decided to pay me a visit and take a drink out of the watering cans that I'm trying to do the plants with. The plants have suffered really bad, so you'll see that in a minute when I take you over there, guys. And unfortunately, this is a very slow process. I'm trying to empty this IBC container that I mentioned in an early video. Thankfully, I'm pleased I didn't empty it now, because this is what's coming handy for water. Ironically, since we've had no rain for a few weeks, after all the rain that we did have, and we thought it was never going to stop, I put the water bottles in place over where the growing area is, but of course there isn't any water in it because we've had no rain ever since. So I'm using this water here. It's just slow going, guys. A couple of watering cans each time and walking over to the garden and doing a couple and then back. So it's taken me quite a while, but I'll give you a look around when I've got them watered, guys. But the plants have suffered badly. So as I said earlier, quite a lot of these plants have suffered as a result of getting no water. I've just got them watered back in again now. Some are faring better than others, but as you can see, one or two of them are really suffering as a result of getting no water. And some are really bad, like this one here. Yeah, it actually looks better on the camera than it does in real life, I can assure you. Yeah, they have taken quite a hit with the no water, guys. So over here, again, we've just watered all these back in again now, but they are looking a little bit sorry for themselves. On a positive note, our onions are up. So you may remember in the earlier video that I planted these really deep, and they've got established, they've popped their head through, and so far so good. There isn't a single one being pulled out by the birds yet. I say yet because there's time. The garlic is taking a little longer, but it is starting to now show. So we've got one or two bits of garlic here to come through. A little weed there, we'll get that out. A little weed out of there. So we've got, I think there's two of the garlic have actually started showing now, guys, so they won't be long. They probably would have been up had we had some rain. But yeah, they've got a bit of a drink now, so actually there's a third one there starting to come up now, just here. So there's three of the garlic is actually starting to show, but the onions are all up. Every one that I put in have actually come through. Some further than others, but the beauty about them, as I say, the birds didn't pull them out. As a result of them being deep, they've managed to get a good rooting, and I'm hoping that that's the reason why they've all stayed put this year instead of being ripped out by the birds. But yeah, some of these plants, they're still alive, that's the main thing, but they've really taken a hit. When I show you the next bed, you'll see what I mean by that. So these ones in particular have, yeah, you can see the state. Still alive and hanging on, but and now with a drink they might recover. But these ones in this bed in particular, where the gooseberries are and everything, which is coming along beautifully, they've took a real hit and real hammering. The black currants getting well into leaf now, as you can see. So they're all coming on. They'll have put the roots down much deeper, and so they're obviously finding water. But the little prims, yeah, might even lose a few of these guys. But there we go. Another gooseberry bush. It's coming back into life. All in all, not too bad. We haven't lost a single plant yet. However, there's always a possibility that will happen. We'll just have to wait and see how this goes, guys. So I'm going to spin you around now and let you have a little look at the apple trees, who are also now bursting into life. As you can see, we've got the new shoots. They've obviously got the roots down and made a good start. And these are in the same bed, so they don't appear to have suffered too much. They're actually starting to put on some leaf now. So that's a good sign. They didn't die as a result of the shock transplanting. This one here, can't actually see any. Oh yes, there is. There's a little bit of foliage just starting now, and one or two buds. One or two buds there, and one or two leaves there, look. So it is alive. I thought this one had actually gone, but it hasn't. Pear tree, lots of leaves on the pear tree. It's really starting to come back. So yeah, I'm pleased, guys. I'm pleased. The trees haven't died after all. They've made a comeback, quite resilient. And the smallest of the apple trees as well is also starting to put on leaves now as well. These are the little dwarf apple trees that I purchased in some years ago from Holland. And they have survived, guys. That's the main thing. They've survived that shock transplant. They might even do quite well in here this year, as I say, because they were in very poor ground for a number of years, and they were still fruiting and producing, but only tiny wee things. So let's see how they do this year, guys. Hopefully all the hard work and effort has been worth it. Hope you're still enjoying the videos, guys. I hope you're all staying safe. If you have any comments that you'd like to make or suggestions, please do put them in the comments. If you aren't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. You're very welcome. And yeah, I'd be interested to hear from you guys how you guys are doing, how your allotments and gardens are coming along, how you're coping with the pandemic we currently appear to be stuck in the middle of. I've also even, although the rhubarb will be well down and well rooted, I've even give the rhubarb a bit of a drink, guys. And as you can see, in 1 week, the growth on the rhubarb is quite substantial. Yeah. So I've even watered the ones in the tub as well. And since taking the flower off this one, it's filled out a bit as well, as you can see. We nipped the flower out of that one last week. And these ones that we nipped the flower out of a couple of weeks ago, they're now starting to put on a bit of growth again now. So I'm amazed these even survived at all with the... I actually transplanted these while they were actually starting to grow. But they've survived and they've come through it. So yeah, it just shows you. We try these experiments, sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. Catch you later, guys. Bye. Okay guys, so I'm back in the shed again now, as you can see. Just made myself another cup of coffee. So, I don't know about anybody else, but to me this is just what the doctor ordered. Is the fresh air, total isolation, not a soul inside, all but total silence apart from the birds, the pigeons cooing away, the chickens making the odd cluck, and the songbirds singing. To me, getting in touch with nature like this it always has been good for my health, and even more so now during the current situation that we're going through. So yeah, I really would be interested to hear from you guys who have subscribed. how are you getting on with your gardens, whether you have a garden, whether you have just a small allotment, where you have plant pots in the backyard, or and even post a picture of in the comment section of how you're doing, how your plants are doing, are you having problems. As I said earlier, I do tend to have a lot of issues with strawberries. I just can't get them to grow no matter what I do. I'm amazed that they'd already started growing in the bag. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I put them in the plant pots, we give them plenty of fertiliser and new compost, and I watered them in, and the little bit of foliage that was on them died. So am I overwatering the strawberries? Can somebody give me some advice on that? I really would appreciate it, because as I say, I've never had any luck with strawberries. Excuse me, frog in my throat. I really would appreciate your comments for you guys who have no issues with strawberries, how you do it. Please let me know. Be much appreciated. Just an update on the polytunnel as well, guys. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and say this with bated breath. It appears that the strings that I've put above the polytunnel appear to be working. There's no wind at all today. The sun's shining, it's extremely warm, and there isn't a bird anywhere near the polytunnel. And I've checked inside, and we have no further holes in the polytunnel. So I'm hoping that that's finally done the job, and that's a lesson learned. What we need to do in order to protect it in future. Should I be unfortunate enough that the polytunnel does rip as a result of the holes that's in it, and the gale's getting up and loosening the plastic and whatever, and if I have to reskin it again, hopefully this is a lesson learned, and we'll be able to protect it going forward. Quick update on the pigeons, they're all fine. As always, I like to get some form of exercise, so I will be perhaps cleaning one or two of those sheds out tomorrow. Might even give you a little bit of footage or video footage of the birds inside after I've done so. Plants are all watered. They're all going to get a final watering before I go. So I've given them one soak. Let that soak in because the soil on the surface was really dry. Let it soak down to the roots, and then, excuse me, go back over with another watering to give them a really good watering. Wow, I've got hiccups. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so I really would be interested to hear how you guys are doing as well. As I say, please post a picture in the comment section of how your garden's doing. What are you doing different to me? Are you doing something better than me? Please share. And hopefully we'll all get through this together, and we'll all benefit from these videos. So for now, guys, I'm just going to finish this coffee. Go back and give the plants another bit of a watering, and then that's probably going to be it for today. I've been up here just a little over an hour now, so and I've really enjoyed just the pottering about and a bit of walking around and watering the plants. But yeah, by the way, I'm going to see if I can get myself something off Amazon, like an inline hose pipe pump, battery operated or something like that, so I can hook it up to the IBC and actually help pump the water through, because the gravity won't be sufficient from its level that it's currently on. Just to see if there's something that can make life a little bit easier. I do have a submersible pump which will go in the barrels when we get some water in them. But until such time, I'm going to see if I can get myself a little battery operated inline hose pipe pump or something like that. I'm sure they do something of a gadget. Again, if any of you guys have any of these gadgets and you know about them, you've tested them and they work okay, please drop me a link in the comment section below. That would be much appreciated. I'm not even sure if such a thing exists, but we'll give it a go. And if I do find something, I'll mention it in the next video. Okay, guys, so I'll catch you later. Stay safe. Okay, guys, final roundup for today. So I've really enjoyed myself just pottering again today. This is only the second time in, as I say, many months that I've actually been able to just leisurely potter, and I've really enjoyed it. Just tending to the seeds, watering the plants, sitting in the shed, sitting outside, 2 or 3 cups of coffee. I really enjoyed it, I really have. I just want to give a mention to one of the guys who made a comment last week when I was struggling with the lawnmower. I'm sorry I don't remember your name. I'm struggling to know you guys. But thank you very much for the suggestion of getting a new spark plug for the lawnmower. So I might even pull that out tomorrow at some point and try and get the part number for the spark plug. However, I've got a horrible feeling that the spark plug on this model is situated in such a place where you need to drop the engine to get the spark plug out. And if that's the case, it's a job for my son at some point, if and when we ever get, and I'll just have to try and make do with what I have at the moment. So yeah, but thanks for the suggestion, it's really appreciated. It's something I hadn't even thought about. If I can at all get it out and get the part number for it, I'll be ordering a couple of spares. So thanks for that. Thanks also to Teresa for her comments, much appreciated that, and my daughter as always for the encouragement. So I believe Teresa has her garden completely planted out and she's no seeds left in the greenhouse. Well, aren't you lucky? Yeah, well done, Teresa. It looks like you're going to have to start planting out again. She's over in the Isle of Wight, so I'll just give a shout out to Teresa. Nice to hear your comments as always, guys. Sometimes I can't always reply to them, or I don't see them for a while, but I will give them a thumbs up, or I will reply where I can. Subscription base, wow, I've hit 30 I think now, but I haven't been doing any advertising or anything. I've simply done this because I just thought it would be, well, I'm doing these things anyways, why not do a video blog on it as well, and stick them up there, someone might find them interesting. And 30 subscribers is nothing in comparison with a lot of YouTubers, but you know what, I would rather have a small bunch who are seriously interested in my videos than a million people hitting the subscribe button for no apparent reason. But yeah, if you really are wanting to follow me along, guys, please do hit the subscribe button, it really will be appreciated. Your comments are always appreciated. And as I say, if you have any suggestions around an inline battery operated water pump or something, that would be really good. Tips on strawberries especially. Teresa, you might have a few tips on this. I'm not sure whether you've grew strawberries in the past, but anybody at all that has grew strawberries and can give me some tips, that would be much appreciated. I've actually filled that tray up with water. Well, I say filled it, I've put a coat on the bottom. I know we don't want to have them waterlogged. And I've set the strawberry pots now in there so they're sort of half in and half out of the water, so they can drain if they have to. See if that makes a difference. I do believe, if memory serves me right, they do like to be kept moist at all times, but I think like any plant, they do like to dry out a little bit. Again, tips in the comments section if you don't mind, please. I really would appreciate it. And until next time, guys, stay safe, stay practical, keep your distance, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.